So I'm going to show you how you can breed your own mealworms. It's actually quite easy. So for reference, this is a life cycle of a mealworm. You have your eggs, your larva, your pupa, then adult. So if you keep mealworms long enough, they turn into this, which ultimately turns into this. But how do you breed them? Well, first you're going to need live mealworms. You're going to need 3 containers. It doesn't matter what you use, just make sure it has air holes. Next, you're going to want to purchase this Josh's Frog mealworm bedding and food. I get it off of Amazon, but you can get it from Josh's Frogs also. Next, you're going to need a strainer. You could use a regular kitchen strainer, but I like this one from Petco. And now, for container 1, this is going to be for your mealworms. You're going to want to put that bedding in there. You'll see a bunch of this shedding action going on as your mealworms get older. For container 2, this is going to be for your beetles. Now, you won't initially have beetles until that pupa hatches, but you're going to want to put them into their own container for when they do hatch. So when you see your mealworms turn into this, you're going to want to take all those little pupa out, put them in a little deli cup or something, and then you're going to want to put those pupa into your beetle container. And then over time, you're going to see that those pupa will hatch. After you get quite a few beetles in there, they will start to breed, they will start to lay eggs, and there is nothing that you really need to do other than to leave them alone and give them some lettuce once in a while because they do need some sort of water source. And then after about a month or so, after those little beetles got busy, you're ready to start sifting out that bedding into what is going to be your 3rd container, which is just going to be a container of the bedding and nothing else. And then you're just going to take a spoonful of that bedding from the beetles, sift that into that container. This is getting all of those eggs in there because ultimately they're going to grow into mealworms, which is ultimately the goal. When you're done sifting all that bedding out, you just want to put your beetles back into your breeding box. Add some of that bedding because they're going to need more of that for when they breed. So just to recap, you're going to need a container for your mealworms, you're going to need a breeding and hatching box for the beetles and pupae, and you're going to need a container to sift those eggs into that bedding because ultimately what you're going to find is that the eggs will hatch into little mealworms. You just take those out, put them back into container 1, and that is it. You do it over and over again. But just a side note, you can use as many containers as you want. There are no rules here.